Hey there, seekers and shapeshifters, healers and expanders. Welcome to the Embodied Spirit Uncensored. I'm Nicole D'Alessandro, and I am here to guide you through an in-depth experience like no other, channeled from higher wisdom through me directly to you. This is a place for those who dare to delve deeper, who crave transformation beyond the conventional, and who are ready to embrace the mystical union of science and spirit. Here at the Embodied Spirit, we don't just scratch the surface, we dive into the very depths of existence. Prepare to be challenged, to change, and to elevate into a new version of yourself. We're inviting you into an entirely new world, a realm that extends far beyond your physical being. So if you're ready to transform your understanding and awaken to your true spirit, you're in the right place. Let's embark on this profound journey together. Welcome back to Embodied Spirit Uncensored, where we dive deep into practices that enrich our body, mind and spirit. I'm Nicole D'Alessandro, your host, and today we're exploring one of my favourite practices, Yoga Nidra, which I often describe as the best nana nap you're ever going to have. It's so much more than that, and that's why I wanted to spend an episode on it. And last episode, we spoke about intention setting, and I did highlight the importance of going and being curious about Yoga Nidra and the sankalpa, the setting of intentions through the Yoga Nidra practice. But today I want to delve a little bit deeper into Yoga Nidra because I think that we still have this idea that yoga isn't for us, because it's a movement, it's a way of making shapes with the body. But yoga and some of the practices and the science behind the practices in yoga really evidence and support how we can really live fruitful lives and feel into longevity and embodiment through these mystical practices without needing to move the body per se. And Yoga Nidra is one of those beautiful practices that is a little bit like a meditation, but it's so much more than that. And it's termed yogic sleep, and it guides you into a profound level of relaxation, yet you're still aware. And we refer to this as pratyahara in yoga. It's sense withdrawal. So you're almost, how do I explain it? Unless you've experienced it, it's hard to explain, but you're suspended in this no-thingness where you are not here, but you're not there. You're not in your mind. You're not quite in your body, but you're in this suspended state of bliss, and it is layered. And there are practice stages in Yoga Nidra, which I'll get into in a minute. But as we move through the stages, you're guided, by the way, by a practitioner, or you might listen to something on YouTube, but generally we're guided through the practice of Yoga Nidra by a yogi or a meditation facilitator. And we get taken into these different layers and altered states of consciousness. And it activates what is known as the relaxation response. And you may have heard that before. It is where your body's counterbalance to stress engages with the parasympathetic nervous system. So this shift not only calms you, but it brings a harmony between the right and the left hemispheres of your brain. And as we delve deeper and move through the stages of a Yoga Nidra, your brain transitions from being active in beta waves to peaceful alpha waves, that state where you're in this calm feeling with closed eyes and you're in a tranquil environment. You're disconnected from any visual stimuli. And this is where serotonin, a mood-enhancing hormone, floods your system, instilling a beautiful sense of calm. This is so crucial because prolonged beta activity is linked to anxiety. So for you, if you are suffering anxiety disorders, this is a really beautiful practice to help your system counterbalance that so that, in essence, you have a better chance of living into longevity. And the journey continues as we shift from these different altered conscious states into alpha, from alpha into the realms of theta waves. And this is the brainwave state that relates to dreams or REM sleep, and where creativity sparks and learning enhances us. it's also a vital time for emotional processing. So when we're in this deep REM sleep, and that's why we have what's called corpse pose or shavasana, is allowing this deep restful state is where we integrate and emotionally process what's happened in our experience of life. And it allows us to let go of outdated and unwanted feelings. And then finally, we've reached the delta wave state, and that's the deepest form of brainwave activity. This is where true deep healing occurs. Your thoughts slow down to a crawl, your body regenerates, and your system effectively processes and eliminates cortisol, the stress hormone. So when we practice, it's layered. And with any style of practice, we may not always reach these altered states of consciousness to the depths of what I'm talking about. However, if you were to practice, and I have seen this with my own experience of Yoga Nidra, of being guided by someone else in the Yoga Nidra and also guiding others in Yoga Nidra, when I've practiced this with my team or my support systems, or when I have helped people through this, it's layered. And there have been bouts of time where I've practiced Yoga Nidra every day for 4 weeks, and the impact and the changes are profound. Like, I'm able to, and my clients are able to, start to see clarity, start to be able to make decisions about their life and the trajectory of their life, the relationships that they're in, the workplaces that they're in, the epiphanies that they receive through this embodied sort of experience of Yoga Nidra is just amazing. And it originates from the Tantras and the Upanishads, which are the 2 important scriptures of Hinduism. And in the Upanishads, the practice of Yoga Nidra is known as nyasa or pratyahara, like I mentioned before, which is sense withdrawal. And this yogic sleep, I'll try to explain it in a more simplified term, is a state of conscious relaxation that helps you to move beyond the limitations of your mind, and it helps you to enter a state of deep awareness and pure consciousness. It's also a really powerful practice that can be used to promote your spirituality or your connectedness to universe, to God, to your spirituality, and it can help cultivate a deep sense of inner peace, presence, and connection to your spiritual essence. So hopefully that gives you a little, if you don't like talking about brainwaves, then just understanding that when we feel more at peace, when we have clarity, when we are in pratyahara, we have the capacity to solve problems, or not even necessarily see them as problems, but we have this understanding or capacity to be removed from the emotional heaviness of whatever it is we're going through in life. And it's there where we have this capacity to find the solutions. And that saying of everything's inside of you, it really is. And Yoga Nidra allows us to discover and uncover those deeper parts of who we are in the most beautiful way. And these 5 processes or stages of Yoga Nidra begin with Sankalpa. Sankalpa, like I mentioned in the last episode, is traditionally known as a resolve or a manifestation of the heart, and it's an intention or affirmation that is carefully chosen and stated in the present or future tense. So that's the first stage of a Yoga Nidra. It gets you to start opening up and setting a clear intention of the journey that you're about to unravel into and the processes that you want to work with when you're in your pratyahara or sense withdrawal state. The next part is usually, or the next stage is the rotation of consciousness. And that is where I take you on a sequence of rotations that relate directly to the symbolic person embedded within your brain matter. And the sensory motor cortex, the higher brain, is accessed during this stage of Yoga Nidra. Then we move into the third stage, which is opposites or opposite emotions and sensations, and they're explored while you're practicing non-attachment, and that's that sense withdrawal. This part of the practice connects to the limbic system, the reptilian brain. And the opposite stage of Yoga Nidra develops willpower, emotional control, and greater equanimity. And sometimes that part can bring up some tension and expression. But if you're in a deep state of calm, you can be the witness without being in the actual experience of it, which is very, very powerful for life. And visualizations is the next stage, and that's simple imagery that is visualized. And this stage develops self-awareness, releases the mind by cleansing it of painful and disturbing material, which in yoga we call samskaras. They're the 5 traditional processes or stages. Now, like with anything, Yoga Nidra has been bastardized in society, or there are very subtle weavings of every stage of this in some of the Yoga Nidras that you might see or hear. So you won't even know necessarily when you're being guided on a Yoga Nidra what the practitioner's underpinning is. So I hope this gives you more of a science or a detailed view of what's actually happening in your brain, not only from the brainwave states, but what part of the brain is actually engaging with these experiences and how it impacts your nervous system and how it impacts your ability to show up in life, embody your wisdoms, your deep inner workings so that you can lead your life with less people pleasing. This is a really great practice for those of you who feel burnt out or defeated in life. For those of you that are ready to move the dial or take yourself into a new caliber of leadership or well-being or being. It's for those of you who procrastinate on sending out those applications for new jobs or new positions, or for applying for that home loan that you are wanting to apply for. There are so many benefits, and it can be as simple as just wanting to feel more peace in your life. Yoga Nidra in the sciences also suggests it's really beneficial for PTSD, for complex trauma, for healing ancestral trauma, and supporting the nervous system by reprogramming the subconscious mind. And the benefits are not limited to, but include improvement of anxiety and depression disorders, overall well-being. It improves recovery from surgical procedures, promotes better sleep habits, boosts the immune system, and it can slow down premature aging. Just a short one today. I'm going to leave it with you. And what I hope you're going to do is run towards a Yoga Nidra and give it at least a few repetitive goes so that your body can come on board and your nervous system can come on board. And do let me know how you go. And for now, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope it gave you some insight into a practice that you may have never understood or never heard about. And I hope it inspires you to go and explore the multitude of expressions that yoga has to offer and the evidence behind these beautiful mystical practices that aren't just mystical. They are for your body, mind, and soul, and they are congruent with my value system that relates to love, that relates to adventure. Yoga Nidra is an adventure, and it is very much rooted in a very expression of love and connection to source, connection to self, connection to your consciousness. Anyway, you know it. Until next time, stay true to yourself, go and practice a Yoga Nidra, and stay batshit crazy. Thank you for joining us on The Embodied Spirit Uncensored. Today's journey may have ended, but your personal transformation has only just begun. So keep channeling the insights and energies from our episode. And as you move forward, remember, this podcast is for those who are not just living, but are seeking to live profoundly. Continue to explore, expand and evolve with us. Make sure to follow this series, connect with us on Instagram at Nicole D'Alessandro Perth, or visit www.yoganidra.com www.nicoledelisandro.com.au for more transformative content. You can also find me on Facebook at Nicole Delisandro. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and more importantly, stay batshit crazy as you embody and explore beyond your current realm of existence. I'll see you later for now, and remember, this journey to embodying your spirit is the most significant journey you'll ever undertake.